Welcome to Crazy Gamer Models. I am the Crazy Gamer and I do models. It is Warhammer Kitbashing Wednesday, and have I got some gift ideas for you? Hey folks, as always, put the links up on the screen at the beginning of the video where you can visit me on social media. These links are also in the description below. If you have any questions about the episode or you want some more information on the things I talk about in the video, you can visit me on any of these social media or email me at this email. Links are in the description, as I said before. You can also support me on Patreon, but we won't spend too much time on that. Alright, so we're going to go to the overhead view, and now I'm going to talk about the Kit Bashers. This is for the Kit Bashers. It's almost Black Friday, it's Wednesday, it's Warhammer Wednesday, and I do Warhammer Kit Bashing Wednesday. So, what do Kit Bashers want for Christmas? Black Friday's coming up, there's going to be sales everywhere, and I've already seen some sales on Amazon and things like that. But what does a Kit Basher want? What does a Kit Basher need? Well, I have some tools and ideas for you guys to get the Kit Basher. First off, you got to hack up your models. And in order to hack up your models, you're going to need some tools to do that. So you got your sprue nippers. For tearing off chunks of plastic, I recommend the Xuron Professional sprue cutters. They can chew through some plastic really well. The Citadel sprue cutters are nice. They're expensive. These are a little bit cheaper on Amazon, and I feel that these can chew through like the arm of a space marine in some pretty thick plastic. But you know, you don't want to. Maybe you don't want to approach it as a hack and slash. Maybe you want to go in there with a little more fine detail. Well, you can get some nice craft saws. These are Tamiya's craft saws. They go into a number one X-Acto knife handle. They're like stainless steel. They come in different shapes and sizes. I have all different shapes. This is a Hasegawa tri-tool model here, and that's the next one we'll talk about. Hasegawa has a set of different shapes that are super fine teeth and also some slightly coarser teeth in many various shapes and sizes. There's another one, for example, has the two different size teeth on it. And these are fantastic for doing some delicate surgery on your Warhammer models or any kind of kit bashing you're looking at. So that's I always recommend. You know, if you don't know what to get somebody, get them some nice craft saws, some nice thin, durable craft saw like a hobby saw. You know, not some giant blade that's hard to get into places. A nice thing that can get in there into tight spaces real nice, and it'll be good to go. Next on your list, you cut the part off and you got some more stuff you need to look at. Well, a nice set of needle files. This is a professional set from Hasegawa. These are very nice. They have a nice cut on them. They tear up the plastic pretty quickly. There's some fine ones in here, and then there's some coarser ones. As you can see between the two there, you got a finer and a coarser. So yeah, that covers all your bases. You get these. I got those from Sprue Brother Models. Some rough sanding sticks is another good thing. You get these at the beauty supply store, and they're 180 grit. They're pretty rough. They're cheap. They're durable, and they can chew through the plastic really quick and get you to where you need. Get the plastic shaped and all that stuff. So you got your model cut up. You got your model shaped with your sanding, and then you got to glue it up. What are you gonna glue it up with? Well, I recommend your Tamiya Extra Thins, and then I also recommend you get a bottle of a cheaper glue. Like you get yourself a bottle of Plastic Magic, and you get rid of about half of it, about a quarter of it. Get rid of about a quarter of it, and then chop up some sprue, throw it in the plastic magic, let it all dissolve. Do a little bit at a time until you get to the consistency you want to get to, and then you have some nice sprue goo for gap filling. You know, it works great. I got a guy right here. You'll be able to see it, hopefully. This is a servitor I'm working on, and I was able to fill in the gap behind his arm with the sprue goo, and it gave me a nice bond melted with the plastic. Even around his head there, I filled the gap with it. So I normally run 2 consistencies of sprue goo, a really thick one and a thin one. But you can also do this if your extra thin bottles get a little low. You know, instead of, you know, just trying to get that last little bit, get yourself a new bottle of glue. Turn the other one into some sprue goo. It's fantastic. You'll love it. It's great stuff. Glues coming with it. You know, that's glues, and then you know people. You know, super glue. You know, you want to add some metal to your part. You want to do some resin, stuff like that. You need a good super glue. I like this Starbond stuff. There's also brands. Bob Smith Industries makes a very popular line of super glues for modelers. It's a lot of times renamed, relabeled under different companies, but Bob Smith Industries works good. You can also think about some 2-part epoxies. That's good for basing and for larger kit bashing needs, or dioramas, or things like that. You want to make a big scene, something like that. You can do things in those manners. Another thing I recommend is these third-hand tweezers. They are cross-lock tweezers. They lock closed and they stand up. You glue, you glue up the leg of your guy. You don't want to sit him down. Boom, he's sitting there in the air and he is drawing real nice. So, and you can leave him there and you can move it around. It's not going to hurt anything. These are nice. I believe Squadron makes these. You can find them on Amazon. I see most of the stuff you can find on Amazon. So, now let's get into some more heavy duty stuff. So you got to do some real work, and you got to really tear some stuff up. Well, you can get a 16 millimeter file from Tamiya. This thing will chew some plastic up quickly. You don't need it all the time, but you're glad you have it when you need it. As another YouTuber says, it's like 4-wheel drive. You don't use it all the time, but when you need to, you're glad you have it. So that's basically that. And then if you're looking to cut some plastic with some rotary tools, you can get one of these Dremel Micros. This has got a rechargeable base at 2,800 RPM, to 5,000 RPM. And I put a keyless chuck on there, and you can do your drilling. You get nice drilling on this. You can go with a higher end plug-inable Dremel. You can get a flex shaft for it. There's all kinds of attachments you can get for a Dremel. And this is nice for variable size bits and things like that. But if you are going to do like diamond burrs and you want to just use burrs and things like that, these.
Communication device enabled. Incoming.
So if you are into, these are these dental type jewelry making tools. This is a micromotor jewelry machine. It's got a variable speed foot pedal. You put one of these dental burrs in there and you can basically carve plastic like butter. You don't want to go in there too fast or too hard. Take it easy, and you can just variable speed foot control, hold it like a pencil, and you can just carve out the plastic. It's great for carving up bases, all kinds of stuff like that. It's got a quick change cullet. Just be advised, it uses I believe 2 millimeter. Yeah, I'm not going to say it because I'm not sure. But it uses a one size only bit, and it's not the standard Dremel size bit. Let's put it that way. But you can get all kinds of different burrs and attachments for it. Here's basically all the stuff I have for mine. I have more. I have a giveaway for some burrs on the giveaway that's going to start back up here real shortly. So there's all that good stuff. Sanding instruments. There's tons of sanding instruments out there. I talked about the core stuff for chewing through, the rough stuff, but you got some fine detail. You have your thin sticks here. You got these are flexi files, trim cuts. They're really thin. You got your Steven International swizzle sticks. They're thin. You got these flat pallet type. You can get these from Alpha Abrasive, Flexifile or Alpha Abrasives. You got your mini files. I mean, this is just a drawer of sanding sticks. You got Flexifile files in different grits. These are nice. They're round for getting into like a ejector pin mark. You have bendable sanding sticks that are stuck to a thin piece of metal, and you can bend them and shape them into different positions and things like that. Then you have sanding sponges. These are from God Hands. They got 120 grit. They come in different thicknesses. These are also great for bending photo etch. Also, that's what I use to bend my photo etch. It's mainly the reason I got it, but I do use them for sandpaper also. But there's a wealth of sanding implements and different things out there. Sanding needles, sanding products are good in general. They're nice to have, and they're good to use. And if you don't have a pair of jeans to clean off your sanding sticks, a lot of people know you wipe your sanding sticks on your jeans to clean them off. Alpha Abrasive makes this rubbery kind of wafer thing that is used for cleaning sanding sticks. You just brush it off with this. Cleans your sanding sticks if you don't want to get your jeans dirty on the holidays. You got people coming over, you're all dressed up, you're waiting on that turkey to cook, so you're like, I want to get some modeling done. You start sanding and you get it all over your clothes, and the wife's not happy, let's put it that way. Another item that you're going to start seeing more on the channel are these detail sanders. They use these sanding belts. You can move them around. I got a few of these. I got some replacement belts for them the other day. You'll see all that in a video that's going to come out on my birthday on the 30th. So these are nice. They have a rounded end. They have a nice sharp pointy end, and they got some flat sections to do some flat sanding on. So they're nice. Keep those tucked in the corner there. I'm not going to recommend scalpels or anything. A good brush to knock away the dust. These are stenciling brushes. You get them at Walmart. These are nice for knocking the dust off a model. They work great for that. All that good stuff. If you need if you're looking for a way to hold your model down or secure it, there are different types of vices. This is the one that I used mainly for a very long time. It can pivot. It can pivot in different directions. It locks. It can suction to my table, which to a cutting mat it does all right. But I like it because I can use some of this white tack or blue tack, whatever you call it in your country, and I can tack down bottle caps. I can put my super glue in there, and then I can get my super glue applicator and put the super glue on, or I can put, like I was doing decals on some ammunition earlier, and I was sitting them there, and I had my 2 decal solutions in there. I decanted them in there, and just worked from there. It's a nice little vice. It served me very well. It's coming very useful. I just made a block of 2-part epoxy that I clamp in there that I stick the white tack to, and most of the time I just stick it into the white tack. I don't really clamp it with any force or anything. And then also there is this. This is a new addition to Crazy Gamer Models. It is a engraving vise. It opens and closes like a regular vise using an Allen key. It spins. It can pivot. You can lock it all down. But what's interesting about this is it comes with all these attachments. And say you have a base, an odd size base, you can put these pins in a certain way here, and you can grip that base in 4 different ways and line it up, and you can lock that down. So these are pretty nice. You can find these on Amazon. They're engraving vices. You get one with all the attachments. Don't just get one with 4 pins. I see them out there with 4 pins. It's not that much more. for all the attachments. You can get some nice stuff for gripping your models pretty well. So it's they're very handy for that. I'm not going to talk about any painting stuff in this video. This is basically the kit bashing part, not the finishing part. So I'm not going to talk about any painting stuff. But that's a general thing there. I will mention one thing: if you're trying to fill some gaps, one of the best gap fillers, that not a huge gap. If it's a huge gap, so I'll use the Sprue Goo. But if you got some small cracks or whatnot, this Mr. Servicer 500, I know it's a paint. I said I wasn't going to talk about paint, but I consider this more of a gap filler than a paint. And this works great. Brush that in. And a little trick with this, after you brush it on, you can take a little bit of this Tamiya lacquer thinner with a Q-tip and wipe off it, and it'll just stay in the crack, and it'll be pretty good. It'll stay there nice and secure. So I think that is basically going to cover my kit bashing ideas for some cool gifts for kit bashing. I mean, there's a lot more stuff out there. This is basically stuff that I have that I use and things like that in my kit bashing needs. I don't use a whole lot of stuff. I mainly use the cut rotary tool to do most of my stuff, and then I'll saw some pieces off with my hobby saws and things like that I showed you, and some sprue cutters. Oh, no, another thing I didn't show this. This is a 0 to 14 millimeter reamer. It unscrews. It's got a very sharp point. This is great for boring holes out to the exact size. Things like that. Oh, one more thing. I do want to show off one more thing. Pin vices. Pin vices. A lot of times you're doing a kit bash, you got to pin things. I use this Serret set of pin vices. It's got 4 different sizes. They're through-hole collets, so you can put a large bit in there and slide it all the way down and have just what you need sticking out. These are fantastic. It's a 4-pack. Goes all the way up to 4.8 millimeters, or 0.187 inches, 187 thousandths. So they're pretty good for that. You can also use the Dremel to drill pin vices. And if you're doing any magnet work, the pin vices is very handy for that. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for stopping by for another edition of Crazy Gamer Models. I just want to mention I'm never going to be running ads on my YouTube channel due to the new regulations. And the only way that I can have the channel grow or have any support is through my Patreon page. I will, once it gets going and more people sign up, I will be doing Patreon giveaways and special things for the Patreons. So if you could stop by there, just check it out, lend your support if you can. If not, that's fine too. Just enjoy the channel. So that's going to do it for this. For Crazy Gamer Models, I am the Crazy Gamer. You guys have a fantastic day.